Right. So, you think I know how to introduce you by now. Internationally renowned psychic medium, Graham McLaren, as Scotland's second only ever Conan Doyle winner. And this time you're going to be talking to us about healing cancer, giving us some more salacious tip. I can't even say it. And talking about the ages of 31 to 55. Hard to believe you're 55 because you look so good. You can just give me your reverse aging tips. You know, everybody likes to look younger, even more svelte than they do before. Although I think it's because the spirit is strong inside of you. Strong spirit, healthy body.
Well, I went to look at getting some work done.
What were you going to get done? Come on, tell us.
Well, don't worry. It's not Botox. It's not anything like that.
No, babe. You want to get that done. You get that done. Don't let anyone shame you.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely never. I wouldn't need that. But when I had a problem in my mouth, and we realised it was much more of a problem than I thought, and I had to have my mouth rebuilt then. And so for the past 2 years, it just finished in February. I've been going through that journey. And the oral surgeon showed me the pictures, and oh my God, I look 10 years younger now than I did prior. And I went to do a church service in Glasgow, and these people were chatting, and the chairperson said to me, they were asking if you've had Botox or fillers. I was like, no, absolutely not. I haven't.
I've just had my mouth rebuilt. Because I think, because I had gum disease really bad, I had to get it all cut out. And that took 2 sessions. I wouldn't have the anaesthetic. I just did 21 days of cold baths, and I went up to Scotland and threw myself in the North Sea. And that resets your pain threshold. And people couldn't believe it afterwards, how just not having gum disease, which I'd had for about 10 years, I looked so much younger. Like within 3 months, it was like I'd had a facelift.
Well, what we don't realise is that we manifest a lot of these things.
Right.
We actually, you know, people might not understand that yet, but everything we go through, we manifest. I certainly didn't. So, you know, when we go back, I was 32, and I've been doing a good deed for a neighbour.
Yeah.
I was moving one of the old spin dryers to the dump, to the tip.
Yeah.
And I slipped on the path, and the top of me, it was the winter, and my back then started breaking, and it got progressively worse. And my GP told me that I pulled muscle, that it would get better, but it got worse, and the pain would come and hit me like a force out of nothing, and I couldn't. And eventually, I had a back operation. I was actually doing a wedding for a relation of John Swinney.
Wow, no way.
And this lady came up to me, her name was Vivian, and said, I am a consultant practitioner physiotherapist at Edinburgh Royal Infirmary. You've got a problem with your back. Can you come see me if I get you an appointment? And I was like, right, okay, thank you. And then she said to me, when she got the x-rays, just stay there, we need to get a surgeon to see you. There was a chip out my spine and 2 discs together. So the surgeon then assures me that he had great success with this.
Yeah.
My mother had back surgery 3 years before.
Right.
And by the same surgeon. Had I known what she had gone through, I would never have went through with it. But she didn't tell me.
Yeah.
She had private healthcare insurance through her employer. So same surgery, but it was done at a private hospital.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I had it done. And I had 4 operations, 3 of which I didn't need.
What?
Yes.
How come they give you 3 you didn't need?
They put the screws in my back in the wrong place. So instead of taking me back to theatre and fixing it, they left it 24 hours. And I had serious drop foot issues and numbness. So then the surgeon went off sick, unknown me, his mother had passed away, and his assistant then took over and gave me 3 operations that I shouldn't have needed. It turns out that
Oh my God.
when I took action against it for negligence, that it was the surgeon did half of the surgery and his chief registrar did the other half. And so that's what happens in teaching hospitals.
Wow.
Never the surgeon that does the full surgery.
That's
But
insane.
the chief registrar will always be part of it. And it was not recorded in the theatre notes that the chief registrar did half my surgery. And what they did was they'd taken instruments and sat it on my nerve and left it for 2 minutes. And after 30 seconds, the nerve is damaged for life and will not recover. So
No.
I went back to the way it was when I was 16 initially, and I was in and out of hospital. And the spirit world have got a way of making sure that you are safe as well.
Yeah.
So although I was in hospital, I was not aware of what was going on in the outside world in my life, where my marriage had broken down, and my wife had left.
No.
I failed my best friend and emptied the house. Those things. I was not aware of any of that, and nobody would tell me, and nobody took me home for the day. And eventually, I said, "I'm checking myself out." When the hospital said, "We're going to start making plans to get you home," and this is the most beautiful thing. Again, not understanding the spirit world.
Yeah.
I walked through the front door, and my home said to me, "Welcome home, Graham. We've been waiting for you."
Oh.
And I said to my mother, "Who's here? I don't want anyone here." I said, "You go back outside, stay outside, and I will go in the house myself."
Yeah.
And I walked in again, and the house said, "We just said welcome home, Graham."
Oh.
And anyway, life was on its knees, and my brother on August 9th, 2009, at 2:42 in the morning, this massive white light appeared.
Yeah.
And my brother said, "Come through the light." And that's
Right.
what he said. And the following day, I decided I would join him.
Yeah.
But I was found, and my mother called my GP, and he was a 32-year-old Northern Irishman.
Right.
And he said, "I believe you've had a spiritual awakening.
No way.
And what I'll do for you is," he said, it's so funny, because he said, "I'll make a deal with you. You go and see my colleagues at the College of Parapsychology, or I section you."
No way.
Yeah. So I said, "Okay, I'll go and see them, but I don't know what that's going to do."
Yeah.
And that was really the first intro, even then. So I went to see this lady, Angela, and she was sitting in this little room, and I put my little Nokia brick slide phone down, and she goes, "There'll be no recording devices or photographing in this establishment. Let me see that." And I'm going, "Oh my God, she's off her head. She's not."
Right.
And then she says to me, "But you're not here for a reading, are you?" I said, "No, my doctor sent me to see you. Shall we start again?" And then she said to me, "I think we've just found the next Gordon Smith, and you don't even know it." And I said, "Is that the psychologist I'm seeing?" And she told me not to be impertinent. And I said, "Well, I don't know anything."
Yeah.
Anyway, she then put me in a group to understand energy, and 8 months later, I went into a development circle. And it was 2 groups that were amalgamated. And my a friend that I'd made said, just say it was fine, or you'll be there all night. So the tutor would come to me and go, "How was the meditation?" I'd go, "Yeah, fine, sorted, thanks, cheers." And I did that for 6, 7, 8 months.
Yeah.
And I was about to give it all up, because I thought, I can't do this, when a girl left the group. And 3 weeks later, the tutor said to me, "I can't teach you anything else. I don't know where you've came from. All you've given me since you started sitting in this class is cool. Sorry, thanks very much." And now you'll have to start working with ability.
Yeah.
But she then took me under her wing, and I travelled with her around the UK.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I was trying to look at what I could be doing. So I was doing some stuff with an events company. And I then I this lady from Germany, and then I met this lady from Denmark. And all of a sudden I found myself being invited to Germany, being invited to Denmark, then Norway, then Sweden. And that was just, wow, it was just mind blowing to be able to go and teach.
That's amazing.
In such early stages of a journey.
Yeah.
And then I was in Glasgow, and this lady, Shauna, said to me, "You are Peter." And I said, "Sorry, no, my name is Graham." And she said, "It'll make sense to you." And she said to me, "The churches will turn their back on you, but don't worry, they'll be back. Just don't be depressed." All happened.
Wow.
And then I was in America for the first time in 2016. And I got so the group I was with, and nobody knew this, but "You are Peter." And I was like, "All right, thanks very much." And I laughed at that, knowing that I'd already been told this.
Yeah.
Well, 2022, now I'd already watched a story about Peter's life at this point. 2022, I had gone to church, and outside of my head, the spirit world said, "You're going to write a book, and we will make you official men." And I was like, "Who's here?" And very shortly after, I actually put my first book together, which is called An Earthbound Angel, A Spiritual Awakening. So
And where can you buy that?
You can buy it on Amazon. It's on Kindle download. It's on most online retailers.
Is it on Audible as well? Can you listen to it? Or is it read only?
Not Audible yet, but that's something
Only a matter of time.
At the moment. And I'm just about to start writing book number 2, which will be An Earthbound Angel, Change and Transformation.
I like it. And who publishes these? Hey,
These are all self-published.
all self-published. Oh, go on, then.
Yeah. And when I did the research, that's the best way forward now.
Oh, is it?
Because a lot of these big publishers either give a small upfront fee and then nothing, because it does cost quite a bit to do it. You know, by the time you get a writer to check it, an editor to edit, a designer to design, and then you've got to go to a publishing house and they publish so many books for you that you're getting. You know, it takes time. It takes about 8 months to put a book together.
Okay.
You know, to get it right.
Yeah.
And I had the help of a most wonderful person called Susie Finlay. She's from Dunfermline, and she's worked on some very good bestsellers.
Oh, amazing.
So when she came to see me work and thought she'd never seen anybody work like that before.
Really?
On spiritual stuff, which was really nice, because we're all unique. We all work in different ways. Nobody's better than anybody else.
It's a beautiful thing to say.
You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just help and share your knowledge with people to help them understand they can do this too.
Right.
And it's more about trust.
Yeah.
More about them investing in their faith, understanding that there's something out there.
Yeah.
You know, going back to 2012, I got my Conan Doyle Prize, but I had previously opened health clinics. So through my pain, I went to a weight loss clinic to see if it would help my pain, and it did.
Yeah.
So I opened health clinics, alternative clinics, and that's the lazy gym, because I'm not a gym junkie. So I would lie and watch TV while the machine did the work. But what I found was most people wanted me to look after them, but I was doing the training. and I had to step back from it. You know, my mother was involved, but I was very good at what we did, and we ended up with 9 clinics all in.
Wow.
And then when my mediumship arrived, the spirit world again, trying to get your attention because you're not paying attention, decided to cause a massive, or put a massive argument in the midst that split my mother up. And since then, I've went on to work with my mediumship, and it's been the best thing I ever done. I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for the spirit world. And then they turned the screw 3 years ago and made me start working with it more.
Yeah.
So that's it now. You know, so I've made the same dedication as, you know, our late Queen Elizabeth, and the fact that although she dedicated herself to the country, I myself to the spirit world in whichever way they want to use me for the rest of my life for what they've done for me, because they gave me life back again.
Right.
And then 2016, 2017, 2018, I got the opportunity to go to America. 2019, I was invited to take part in an international conference there.
Amazing.
And that was just phenomenal. And then obviously COVID hit. And everything was online. Well, I didn't like online.
Yeah, it's getting used to, right?
And a friend of mine phoned me up who had a church and said, maybe you could come on and see what it's like, and a couple of messages. Well, when they introduced and said, oh, we've got Graham tonight, we'll hand the service over to him. And they just left it with me for an hour, and I was like, what's going on? But that gave the push so that I can work online and in person. So from there, it's just been, somebody's just absolutely phenomenal things, opportunities that just don't come around. So, and again, things don't happen by coincidence, as we spoke about before. So,
no, they don't.
So last year in September, I had a reading from a lady called Samantha.
Yeah.
She's down south. Because it's hard when you just want to check things and just get confirmation, especially if you're around all these spiritual people and when people know me, when you're getting more known as you work. And this lady said to me that she was making a documentary. Would I be taking part in it?
Yeah.
So I said yes, but I've never heard anything about it. So back in February of this year, a friend of mine was getting a new car, and he's very dyslexic, so he wanted me to go with him because it's a long road from my home. And I said, yeah, that's fine. And I get in the car and he said to me, have you heard anything from the women from TV? And I said, no, I probably missed that opportunity. And he said, no, I don't think so. 9 o'clock that evening, I got a messenger call from the lady that was.
And is he like a medium as well, or is he just like?
He's now in his 70s, now got the start of dementia, but he was a very, very good healer.
You can get that dementia edited out with gene therapy. Yeah, Dr. Patrick Sewell in St. Kitts.
I've spoken to him about that, but he and he's very, although he's very spiritual, he's very Christian. Yeah. You know, Jesus is his go-to, and he's seen him and everything else.
Yeah.
And he's done some phenomenal work in his life.
It's amazing.
It's just so weird how it all came about, and how that call then came. The same, you know, I went to America 2024, and 2 days before I was going away, I had some friends here.
Yeah.
They're asking spirit questions. And spirit, they said, when's Graham going to meet somebody? And it went June. I thought, I don't have time in June. And
I love it. You just close that down. You know best in the spirit world.
yeah, and I just laughed at it. And on the very last day of June, this phenomenal woman walked into the group I was in.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, and she's been here a few times now. I've been over there a few times.
So that's about almost a year now. You still together?
Yep, a year on the 29th of June.
Oh my God, that
So,
is so cute.
Nothing happened by accident.
Right?
And this time we're both each other's opposites.
Really?
Yeah.
What's she like?
Oh, she just beautiful, but fiery.
I really feel that myself.
And she has 34 years experience in the holistic and spiritual sector.
Okay, then, so that's good. So she's really comfortable with you being what you are then.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean,
She understands it.
that's
You know,
beautiful.
but she channels. So,
Oh, does she?
yeah. So that, going back to 2012, I decided I would be doing the shamanic practitioner's course.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll laugh at this. So my business had just, my mother and my business had just been announced as a finalist of the Orange Business Awards of the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. So I sent all my team off.
And what type of business was this?
So this is holistic alternative health.
Okay, alternative health. And
Yeah.
explain to people what the orange thing is. The orange.
Well, that was Orange supported the business awards.
As in the mobile phones.
Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of people remember that now because they're now O2. That's why I was like, you need to explain what orange is.
Yeah, so
Because they might think it's like the orange order or something like
yeah,
that.
no. Orange were the sponsor
Yeah.
time of the business awards in Scotland, and so I sent 27 staff off in the limos with a champagne to go to the Hilton in Glasgow and the award ceremony, and I went on a shamanic sweat lodge in the middle of nature in the mud and a fire, and I had the best time ever.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then I learned that we came second to Fake Bake brand.
Oh.
So for a small business like that to come second was just
a big one like Fake Bake. I mean, that's massive.
Yeah, and we've got we had done the Scottish Beauty Show at the Royal Highland Centre in Ingliston.
Mm-hmm.
And I helped a friend out on that day. And the guys that worked for me were all over GQ magazine. The stand was standout.
Really?
Yeah, I had the ideas, I put it together.
Mm-hmm.
And then the girls that worked for me actioned it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, on your ride, you got your champagne and canapes.
Yeah.
And then you got your taster sessions.
Oh, nice.
You know, so, and it was fine. That was fine initially, but things got a bit scary when one of the girls that worked for me said to me, "Will you do a wee read for me?" And I was only at the beginning then, so I was like, "Right, okay." And I said, "Have you got any questions?" And she said, "Yeah, I want to ask about my father, because he's very, very ill."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Well, we'll use the cards for that." And I flipped a card, and it was 8. And I said, "So within an 8, there'll be big changes: 8 days, 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years."
Mm-hmm.
So she said, "Well, that's fine. It'll not be 8 months because he's so ill. And if we've got him 8 weeks, that'll get us through until the end of Eid." I said, "Good." Maybe we left, and then she phoned me the following morning.
Yeah.
8 hours.
No.
Very scary.
Oh.
And I'd already been having all the dreams since 2009. I had all the dreams about all the helicopter disasters.
What?
Weeks later, they played out on the news,
Too much.
and it was getting frightening. It was getting really
What do you do with this information? Do you just sit in it? Do you ever tell anybody?
well. I sat on it because it was only when I started seeing it on the news I seen that. I knew how many were alive. I knew how many were dead. I knew what went down. I knew what type of helicopter it was. I knew what the problem was. I knew the split male to female.
What?
And I also knew that Theresa May was about to step down, and I knew that about 4 months before that happened.
Oh my God, I wish you told me. I'd have put a bet on the bookies.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give you a laugh because
Tell me about Keir Starmer.
I think he's only going to be a one-term prime minister.
Do you know what? Somebody else, before he got in, a young girl was messaging me stuff, and she was like, "Oh yeah, he's not gonna last, this, that, and the other, and that his own party are stabbing him in the back and all this sort of stuff." And he was coming to her in her dreams, and I was like, "Babe, are you crushing on Keir, or are you his Yoda?" And by one term, do you just mean like 5 years, or do you mean like the whole term of government, or what do you mean?
No, I think he'll be there for the 5 years.
Okay.
I think what is going on is he's going to have to reverse some policy, which will get back some trust.
Mm.
But he's not decisive. He's not a good leader, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One thing I will tell you is that I think at our next parliamentary elections, Reform UK will be the main opposition.
Mm.
And it will be a coalition government.
Okay.
In Scotland,
yeah,
I think the SNP will win, but by a minority.
Yeah.
And I also think Reform are going to do very well in Scotland too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let me know if the spirit world chime in on this one.
They will. But I also knew that Prince Charles had cancer, because I'd already seen that. And I don't think, my personal opinion, I don't think he's going to be on the throne that long. I think plans are already afoot for change.
And he's not that young, to be fair.
No, he's in his 70s, but I think the cancer's worse
than people are letting on.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's got a bit of a broken heart there about his mum.
It's the same, because having worked with the royal family, and it was funny because there was a programme on Channel 5 in the UK last night, and I had known the Queen was dead at 3 o'clock when they told us that she was under supervision of a doctor. And it was confirmed on the programme last night that she was actually dead at 3 o'clock.
Wow.
But there was a protocol that because she was the head of state for 15 countries, it had to be informed first.
Bing, 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 yeah. So anything that's not happened that you can tell me about? Have you had any like vision-y dreams? And I won't hold you to it.
So, no. So,
I might go and put that in the bookies.
I think there's going to be some huge changes in the Middle East. And I think Israel will lose their backing.
No. And is this because you've had a vision, or?
Yeah, I get that. I get that feeling.
Okay.
I think this summer we're going to see I think we're going to see.
You went quiet there. Was that on purpose?
Yeah, I'm just getting up.
I didn't know if that was like the spirit world saying
I think the staff ground staff. I'm sure it's Menzies.
Menzies.
We'll go and we'll ballot. I think they'll ballot strike action at Glasgow and Edinburgh airports by the middle of June to the end of July.
Oh, that'll rock their share price. Interesting. Glad I don't have any stocks and shares in that one.
Very, very
It's
interesting.
going to be interesting. If then that happens, I'll be able to go, see, we reported it then, and it happened now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And of course, the world is changing so drastically.
Yeah, you know what? The vibration's lifting. You know, better things are coming. And you know what? It's like, you know, when you have to like, you know, when they turn over a stone and all the earwigs come out and all that, it's kind of, that seems like it's happening globally. Like, you know, everybody's being outed for the dodginess that they are in Parliament, not just our Parliament. Just like, you know, governments around the world are a bit dodge bait.
Everywhere.
For the people.
The one thing I did know, well, this is very funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's very serious. So when I began this journey, I had a neighbour who came to me and asked me if he gave me some coordinates, could I do some remote viewing and tell him what I seen?
Oh.
Turned out the subject matter was Madeleine McCann.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I told him what I seen, and he said, "That's great. I've seen the same thing. I'm going to the police."
Yeah.
What has come out in the past couple of years was that the police had over 600 victims and psychics go to them with information about Madeleine, and now they're having to reinvestigate that. So, in my experience, I seen the yellow camper van with the white roof. I seen the car with a change of plates. I seen 2 men and a woman involved. I could describe him.
Yeah.
And it was not a reservoir.
No.
So,
I think she's still alive, but that's
the next thing I tell you is, some friends gave me a healing because my health wasn't great, and I could see myself going down the tunnel. And there was Madeleine McCann at the end of the tunnel, and I burst into tears and had to come back. I couldn't go through.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't think the poor kid is alive. All come out. There are views that probably not best to share online.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot there that was wrong. But I had a healing from another lady in Bathgate. And all of a sudden, I'm quite relaxed, and then all of a sudden at my left side came in and went, "Hi, I'm Vicky Hamilton." And I was like, "Oh, hi," because I'm in that. I didn't realise the next side of me, the right side, came, "Hi, I'm Dynamite Nickel." So these two souls were telling me about the trauma they had.
Yeah.
Vicky Hamilton said I was a schoolgirl when I was lifted. Dynamite Nickel said we were buried together.
No.
And then at the back, in came Angelica Cluck.
Okay.
And I was buried under the vestry. And she was, all by Peter Tobin.
No way.
And after I came out, the healing, the facilitator said, "Oh, that's because I've been working with someone for 20 years that Peter Tobin tried to abduct." And I didn't believe that. So I went to as far up the healing channels as I could understand. Certainly within the Spiritist National Union, within the Spirit Association of Great Britain, and within the both Society and Scottish Society for Psychical Research.
Yeah.
And they both said to me, all four said to me, that it wasn't anything to do with the woman and who she was working with. That was down to me. These souls trusted me to come in.
Yeah, exactly.
To help them, which there must have been a reason.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Isn't it? It's just so wonderful. But these poor...
I mean, quite jarring for you to have that information, but great for them that they're able to offload and tell somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then move on potentially.
Again, very humbling that these souls decided to come through you.
Yeah. Oh, darling.
So since 2012, I've done really well in terms of my learning abilities. That I qualified as a shamanic practitioner.
Okay.
And I did my Reiki and my Reiki master. So, you're kind of well open at that point.
Yeah.
I began to sit for trance, which is the next state.
Yeah.
And for physical phenomenon, which is the next state again. So the easy way to understand that is mediumship is about perception.
Mm-hmm.
Trance is about control,
Mm-hmm.
where you give up partial control of your mind to the spirit world.
Okay.
The perception of the mediumship is that you're perceiving what you put into your mind
Okay.
or through your senses.
Okay.
So I'm very much claircognizant. It's just there.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the first time the spirit world spoke to me.
Mm-hmm.
That was in Hamilton Spiritualist Church.
Wow.
It was phenomenal. Phenomenal. But I'll share some things with you in a moment that you might not quite, you might not believe, but these are surveys that were done that were very much true. And then the physical state is where you put yourself completely. And that's very hard to do.
Right.
But coming back to mediumship, because that's always going to be my main stay.
Okay.
If you can help heal hearts and unite families who might be grieving, then it's the most wonderful thing ever.
Yeah.
You can help one person in your life, then you've done your job. And I had been on the teacher training course at Stafford with the Spiritualist National Union. And I had learned of a story about a gentleman who had gone for a reading. I'm not going to name the medium.
Mm-hmm.
It would be wrong to do so. And the gentleman had told the medium that he was depressed. His wife had died. He was depressed and he wanted to take his own.
Wow.
The medium's response was, well, when you get to the spirit world, come back and have a cup of tea with me.
What?
So that gentleman did very sadly take his own life. And his son found the recording on a CD, so it tells you how long ago it was, and took it to the police.
Yeah.
Said medium was charged with culpable homicide and aiding and abetting a suicide.
Wow.
And when it went to court, said medium said, I'm an entertainer.
No.
So where is the responsibility there for someone who's vulnerable?
Yeah. That's tough.
You've got to have that.
But
And-
even as a human being, just to say that, medium or no medium, I'd be saying, I think you need someone to talk to above and beyond me, above my pay grade.
So always, you never know who's going to sit in front of you, and you never know what vulnerable state they're going to be in.
Yeah.
And when you ask me, so what things do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Mediumship is all really about confirming that there is life after death.
Yeah.
It is not so much about prediction.
Okay.
But we get little bits. But we are only human too.
Yeah.
And we do make mistakes.
Yeah.
And we live in a very much an Americanized society where everybody wants to sue everybody else.
Mm.
If I suddenly said to you, you come to see me and you're vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I just said to you, oh, I see a baby there and there's a wee boy coming and da-da-da. You go away and you prep for that and that doesn't happen.
Mm.
Then under the current laws, you can sue me for negligence.
Wow.
And it would be up to me to have to prove that I am not a fraud. Now, most mediums can't produce the same thing twice.
Yeah.
We were protected under the Fraudulent Mediums Act, which was abolished, I believe, around 2000.
Okay.
The Fraudulent Mediums Act was where you, the client, had to prove I was fraudulent.
Okay.
So this has all come about because American life is very different to here. And everybody wants to sue everybody.
Mm.
So if you get something wrong,
Yeah.
you've got to look at how you phrase things. And people that do online courses and then think the mediums, I don't doubt there's ability there,
Mm-hmm.
but are they learning the right protocol?
Yeah.
The way to phrase? And have they had the necessary practice to understand the craft and the ability? And in the spiritual movement, there's a lot of envy.
Mm.
And you see it, not, and I don't mean this rude of anyone, because I can only account for myself. I can only hold my integrity in its deepest state ever. But someone not quite at that stage yet.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the most horrible things I've had happen to me was a very experienced medium make fun of my mobility.
Ooh.
Transcript that they were taking, and 3 friends on that transcript reported it to Police Scotland as a hate discrimination crime.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a scene out of the bill. Honestly, I thought it was a film set. And then said medium came and caused major drama in my work, claiming that I had done this to them and that, and so again, we don't know where they're at. But I
So
always
did the police turn up at your door or their door?
No, both.
Both.
Both. All I would just say to people was, please be kind and be courteous.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Treat people the way you want to be treated yourself, because the spirit world see everything.
Right.
And if you don't treat people with dignity and respect that you expect,
mm-hmm.
then be prepared for consequences.
Yeah.
So be kind, be courteous. Even if someone's making your life hell, keep that smile on your face. Hold yourself in a higher state. You just know where they're at. And what my tutor used to say to me was, you don't know when someone's soul thinks you're going to do better than them. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And you don't know that because it's their soul and yours.
Yeah.
And so when you sit beside someone on a bus or at a dentist and you don't quite gel with them,
mm-hmm.
it's because your auras just don't match. The energies just doesn't feel great, because they realise your soul is like they're going on to do better than theirs.
Yeah. Basically, you're vibrating at different frequencies.
Yeah. And
Ding.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
There's enough for us all in this world.
There's indeed.
All just learn to share the love. And I just look at love and say, light one vibrational energy instead of ego edging God out. Realize you all have abilities, harness them, enjoy them, share. Nobody wants knowledge, share it, and our world will be a far better place.
Amen. I'm with you on that one. Anyway, should we segue to your inspirational tales of how you managed to do complementary therapy with cancer for people?
Yeah. So that came about through I'd been looking at the whole healing system, how it worked, and I learned that I could work consciously and unconsciously. I met a gentleman who had cancer, and I said I'd work with him. I gave a lot of time and effort, and I was so proud, so pleased for him. You could see the difference in him. He had a purpose for life again.
Really?
And when he went to his oncologist, they told him the cancer had not spread to his brain.
That's insane. And what sort of stuff had you done with him?
I had worked doing psychic surgery with him. And so
and what does that mean? Explain, break that down. Psychic surgery.
Psychic surgery is where you're looking at taking the problem away.
Okay.
So sometimes it will take more than once. And this gentleman had problems with his breathing, cancer in the lung. The cancer was moving up through his body.
Yeah.
Being pushed back into the lung again.
Oh.
But we were working hard with it. And then, of course, I had to go to America. And whenever I've tried to phone him now. I can't seem to get him, but I met people that were related to him. The cancer's not in the brain, but he was ill.
Yeah.
But he's in my healing thoughts forever.
Oh, that's lovely. How many sessions did you do with them?
We did 8 sessions.
That's right.
And then he went for his scans and it wasn't in his brain.
That's amazing.
Isn't it? And then
The Lord.
2 sessions with the lady who had tumour in the bladder and was having it removed because it was there. But she had been told cancer had come out of the bowel and into her bloodstream, into the muscle.
Yeah.
And I worked with her. I mean, I don't do the work. The spirit world do the work.
Yeah.
I hold the energy.
Okay.
And she could feel it moving.
That's
the gentleman could feel it moving too. Again, what people don't realise, what they've got to do is also change their mindset so that they body can suddenly feel it's not got this illness. Because we're all energy, so what we're doing is working with the energy in the body to move it, to keep it real. So this lady, anyway, when she went, the oncologist told her they were quite surprised that the cancer hadn't gone into the muscle or into the blood.
That's amazing.
And then this other lady in America that I really thought, oh my goodness, I thought, you're getting too big for your boots. You've just said there's 30% of that tumour gone.
Yeah.
Where did it come from? And I thought that wasn't me because I just wouldn't believe myself in that position.
Yeah.
But I thought, expect the letters. You know, and then to get a text 2 weeks later to say, just been to oncology and 30% of the tumour's gone.
That's just crazy.
It's all through the same methods. I was at the Upper Finlay College recently, and I got a spiritual assessment there, which is kind of what you're doing and where you are and what might be your potential.
Yeah.
And the facilitator of that second session said to me, they think I will develop some type of healing that no one else will be ever able to do.
That's amazing.
Which is very touching and very kind. But I'm in the process of developing things that other people just don't do. And if you look at it all together, you know, when we look at the holistics or the shamanics or the spiritual and the alternative and bring it all in together, channels and allow the spirit world to work through you. Results can be quite phenomenal. And a lot of people do those types of work there. But as society, it's opening up more for the alternatives now.
I mean, it's funny, in other parts of the world, totally normal, like Tibet, normal, but Asia, like, India, they'd be like putting you in some sort of little temple somewhere and they'd be coming giving you food. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's interesting to see how, especially like if you look at the Ayurvedic, you know, medicines and stuff like that. And like I do the breathing exercises in the morning. I did that today at 4 a.m. to prepare me every time I'm going to do a podcast so that I can be in the zone. And it's just amazing how these cultures that have got access to knowledge that they had 5,000 years ago are so much more open to it.
Yeah.
Then, you know, Chinese medicine being around an equivalent amount of time, they're open to it as well. And over here, we're not as open to it. And you just think, really, because I'm looking at these 2 other countries, and you look at Japan, nobody's fat in Japan.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not even a thing. You know, in India, obviously people like sweet things, so you get a mixed match, right? But in China, people in China generally are quite healthy and quite slender. Yeah. But again, they've got an issue. Yeah, but they do the qigong and, you know, they're into the whole Reiki and the, you know, heal with your hands. Huh?
Or the Tai Chi.
Yes, Tai Chi, Qigong, you know, that whole kind of like, anyway, I do Qigong and I do like morning salutation yoga. But they're into this sort of stuff. But it's funny, you know, where the change is happening. I'm running a 10X founder program. I start on the 16th, and it's where I've been satellited into an AI company that's just small teams of like 4 people I do hands-on spiritual healing thing with face tuning forks and all that. But they've satellited me in to be on site with them for 21 working days. So it's about 4 weeks. And so I'll be doing like morning salutations, changing their diet to low histamine, talking them through, you know, personal development, spiritual healing. And so we'll do 15 minutes 3 times a day, breathing exercises and hands-on healing, like Reiki face massages. And if I'd said that to somebody 2 years ago, an entrepreneur, they'd have laughed in my face.
Yeah.
But now everyone's like, yeah, I don't want to burn out. I want to build a unicorn, but I don't want to burn out.
Yeah.
And it's once they've had a Reiki face massage, it only takes me 5 minutes to reset your limbic system. And you're ready to roll. You can jump on stage, and it's like you've had a full night's sleep. And now they're like, I feel different, and I get messages about them because I did my Reiki level 1 and 2, and it's like the spirit. It's like, especially like the really rich ones, their spirit's like, oh my God, I've been waiting for you. He never speaks to me anymore. All he does is work. I mean, asking this whole conversation like, oh, where have you been? And then, like, you know, once I work with them for like 8 weeks, I'll take a break because they think they need a break. And then literally I'll bump into them. Their spirit will be like, where have you been? Or you wake up in the middle of the night and it's like their spirit is sitting on the end of the bed going, well, are you going to phone him? He needs to see you. He's not listening to me.
And it's funny.
It's a bit like, am I imagining this? You know what I mean? Like, you'll get it more than I do.
The normal man in the street would think we're nuts, but we're not.
But you know what, you say that, right? But I was doing PR for a company a week ago, and it was mostly guys at the end, again, founders. And I was talking a bit about this, and then they were all saying, can I get your number at the end? They went, no funny business. I just wonder, can we talk about this more? And I was like, and they're in their 30s, right, these founders. And it is funny how, like, the average guy, I think some of it is, though, because the immigration in London is a lot more Indian people now.
Correct.
And they have a different mentality. And you know how you have the, there's the monkeys that live on the island. One learns how to crack a coconut open. Then suddenly other islands, once a certain amount of monkeys learn, a certain amount, all the other islands start to learn, even though a monkey's not going to visit them, it travels through the quantum field. And I think that's also happened in London. Apparently you only need, there was experiments done, I think in the 90s, early 2000s in the Middle East, about when you had people presenting from the heart, believing that peace was a thing and that the place was peaceful and there was no wars going on. And you only needed something like 500 people to be thinking that at the same time per million people. And actually it happens, it's a thing, but they have to think it constantly. So when they kind of go off and they get sucked back into the 3D world, it goes wrong again. Yeah. And so I'm beginning to wonder if, like, the numbers that we've got immigration, like the kind of, we've got a lot more kind of spiritual people, as it were, coming to London. That it's changed the balance slightly.
Yeah. You know what?
People are more open to it.
I'd say to everybody out there, you know, when it comes to healing, just imagine the universe flowing in through the crown of your head. Now, if you've got somebody that needs healing, draw your attention to your heart space. Mm-hmm. Use it as like your operating theatre.
Right.
Bring it in there and just imagine that you're working on them and it's running all the way through the body.
Mm-hmm.
And then have that conversation with them afterwards.
Mm.
Get you later and say, oh, I've had you in my thoughts. And just see what they say when you were doing that at that time. If they pick up on anything, you'll probably find they will, or they'll be in touch with you shortly after. And that's what the spirit world just saying, we've got you, you're here, you're doing the right thing. So just remember, before we wrap up and we finish here today, share the love.
Yeah, and
share the love.
You don't share it from here. You literally, your heart is literally. There's a bit. There's apparently a testament, like a in the Bible. There is a bit where it goes on about, you know, basically you've got to like feel your prayer. And apparently in the Book of Thomas, which isn't in the current Bible we have, there was 2 lines that was very direct. I'm like, you have to feel it like it's already happened. A bit like in these manifestation programs. Go on.
As the Dalai Lama says, allow the infinite to become infinite.
Yeah, right. Although I think for most people that's a bit much. But I just like, it was like somebody explained it to me, you just radiate it from your heart. Put your hand in your heart, drop down and start radiating it from your heart, whether it's about money, whether it's about health. But I'm already healed and it feels amazing. And you know, let your imagination run away, but let it actually come out of your heart. Drop your brain down to your heart and let it radiate from there. And that's the language of the quantum field.
Absolutely. I send you all so much love in the hope that you too realize the potential that you hold within, folks.
Mm-hmm. You're so cute. Maybe we just need like another 400 million. How many million people are in London? I don't know. But okay, let's just get 5,000 people down here like us, and then we can just solve the world's problems.
Absolutely.
Pop it from London, that'll be fine. Because when I used to do PR for Extinction Rebellion, I did the Kensington chapter, and people used to say, because obviously people come from all over the countries and like block the streets in London, and you took all the roadmen, they'd be like, you know what? It does change the energy in London. I'm not as angry. And it was like, yeah, all the bunch of do-gooders together, really like, yeah, we're making the effort. And you know, the old CND people. Oh, I just loved it. It was amazing. But anyway, we're going to have to wrap up this session, which has been amazing because we could talk for hours. Now, you talk about the USA and the UK and the differences a lot. So I'm thinking for our next one, I know that you spent quite a lot of time in the US doing quite a lot of work there, and you're off there again. So I was thinking, should we do our next podcast on that?
We can, absolutely.
Because there are, I know we both speak English, UK, US, but I think there are infinite differences between the two cultures. I mean, I know, like when you're doing your masters in the US, people literally start businesses and become millionaires by the time the masters is over. When I was doing my masters, it was more like, let's go to the park and have a smoke and talk about this. And people didn't really focus on getting jobs until they left. You know, I had a photography business, so I was okay. You know, content and photography is the thing. But for a lot of other people, they came out and they were like, "What? I don't have a job." Or if they did, it was like Deliveroo. So I think there was that kind of difference. I just find the whole America UK thing interesting. The people interesting as well. Especially the underground. Yeah,
it's different here the way things run, and Americans are so much more open than we are in the UK.
To many things.
And I give you a laugh. So I'd been chatting to somebody, and they'd given me a hug and everything else, and they'd gone away. Dare I say this? I don't mean this rudely, folks. They said to me, "I'm just going to get my fanny pack." And I was like, oh my God, did you say that? I was like, oh my goodness. But then I realized they're talking about their bum bag.
Bum bag. Do you know, it's like my aunt Doris. I know Doris, what her name. She lives in Canada, internationally famous hairdresser. And she go, "Hey man, where are my pants?" I like go and obviously hand her pants. And she meant trousers. That always got me when I was younger as well. Like, oh, I'm gonna put my pants on.
In diction, you can be so shocked.
Yeah, right.
You know, I was like, oh my God, could you? And I kept thinking, could you imagine if I delivered that in a message?
I know, right?
But
the other one is cigarette in the FAG word. Like,
yes.
Can I have an FAG, please? And people were looking, go, pardon? Because I used to be a heavy smoker. I remember I was at the Greenbrier in Western Virginia, of all places, and I'm using that word. You know what they're like in the South, they're a bit different. And they were like, "Hi," and they were like, "She's Scottish, it means cigarette." And they were like, "Oh," and I swear, had I not been Scottish, I'm not sure I'd have gotten away with it. But you know, being a Scot, you can get away with full past central in America. They're like, "Oh man, I'm Scottish," and I'm like, "Of course you are, darling. Come on in."
We can talk about that in the next episode.
It's amazing. So till next week, folks, we've got more of amazing Graham McLaren and the Spirit World.
Yeah, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Lots of love. Take care.
Bye.